I may not see him a lot, but it doesn't matter. Observe.
Schmosby!
Punchy!
Schmosby!
Punchy!
Schmosby! Punchy! Schmosby! Punchy! Hey, good talking to you, Ted.
Yeah, you too. If you're ever in New York.
Definitely.
We are just two peas.
And today we're watching Glitter. This is the Robin Sparkles 3 episode, Chris. It's Season 6, Episode 9, and it aired in November of 2010. So at this point, it's been about 2 years since we last saw Robin Sparkles. She was in December 2008, she was mentioned in an episode, and then earlier in 2008, she had the Sandcastles in the Sand, or Robin Sparkles 2 episode.
Right.
So it's been kind of a while since we saw Robin Sparkles.
It's about time, and the first scene sort of dives into that, where Barney's just talking nonsense, and he's like, "It's time for another Robin Sparkles episode."
Yeah, that's definitely one of the things I wanted to say as soon as we get into the episode. That is one of the most wonderful introductions, and that shot of all the gang like screaming happily makes one of the best promotional trailers for this episode ever.
Yeah. The only other time I remember them getting that excited was when Ted was going to get out his yellow legal pad.
Yeah.
And it's
Turns
like,
out,
kids, they were that excited.
Yeah, yeah. So again, it's Robin Sparkles, so this episode is written by Courtney Kang, the Robin Sparkles writer, apparently.
Yeah.
So, and of course directed by Pam Fryman and the cast, and we got a bunch of guest stars, which is all I really wanted to talk about up front here, Chris, is the guest stars. Is we've got Alan Thicke as himself, more screen time than he's had before.
Right.
He's been in. He was in Sandcastles in the Sand. He was in an episode we skipped called The Rough Patch.
Yes. Yep.
And and then we see Chris Romanowski as Punchy. He shows up again. Again, gets a lot more screen time this go around.
Yes.
Than he did when he was first mentioned. And you had something you wanted to say about one of the other guest characters. I'll let you tell it.
Yeah, this is the only episode that features Jessica Glitter.
That's right. Played by Nicole Scherzinger. Scherzinger? Help me out there.
I don't have it in front of me. Let's see.
I think it's Scherzinger.
Yeah, Scherzinger. Yeah. Sounds German. She doesn't look
Yeah.
German.
No, can't quite tell what ethnicity she's supposed to be, but it doesn't matter because she's Canadian. That's all you need to know.
Yes. Yep, the actress was born in Hawaii, I believe, but yes, and Jessica Glitter is Canadian.
Yes.
She plays the guitar and the organ.
That's right.
But yeah, I liked Alan Thicke in this. Glad he got some more screen time. And now that you mentioned the Rough Patch, I'm a little sad that we skipped that one, although we'll go back to it. Because in that episode, he keeps playing the Alan Thicke card, as he calls it. He's like,
Yeah.
I don't want to play the Alan Thicke card, but I'm Alan Thicke.
Yes.
So, didn't get to have him do that this time, but actually in this episode, I'm glad he has a good sense of humor, because he's kind of portrayed a little pervy in this episode.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's a kind of a warped perspective on Alan Thicke.
Right.
The 80s family dad.
Right. Yeah, basically made this, kids porn. It's kids porn. It's not
so
minced
yeah,
words.
so it's a lot of porn jokes and sex jokes in this episode. I mean, that if I had to say what was the most memorable for me, it would be all the dirty stuff that they get away with in this episode. Chris, what would you say makes it the most memorable episode for you?
Yeah, what made it most memorable for me was Space Teens. It was everything that was dirty. The joystick, I can't actually tell which is worse. The joystick, where the girls have both their hands on it and they're flailing it around. I was going to use a different term there for a moment, but I thought better than to use it. And then there's also the beavers and them eating wood, and how much wood Alan Thicke would need to bring to keep these beavers satisfied for the whole weekend, and just just really, really dirty. Space Teens.
Yeah, Space Teens definitely very dirty. Punchy, also very memorable character for me. I didn't have much else to say about this, Chris.
Yeah, Punchy's in it. He's memorable. Not the most memorable, but I do remember the little bird trick.
Oh yeah,
I found this little bird. That's man, this episode is just really, they didn't pull any punches.
Hi folks, Editor James here. We've heard your feedback and we're going to try something a little different with this episode. We've moved the commentary to the end of the podcast. What you'll hear next is our post-episode discussion of the episode. We're always looking to make the podcast better. If you have an idea to improve the podcast, please email us at HIMYMSuperfans@gmail.com. Now back to our discussion.
All right, well that was Glitter.
So yeah, it was a fun episode. You know, it's a keystone episode in that it's turning on the whole baby story that sort of dominates the latter half of the season is Lily's transition into motherhood and Marshall and Lily together as parents, and the whole gang sort of transitioning away from their drink every night in their 20s and 30s to their, becoming responsible adults and parents sort of portion of their life.
Right. It's gradual. It's
yeah.
It's not overnight, but yeah, they do transition that way as life just sort of moves people forward, especially when they don't have all of the same goals and wants and things like that, from having kids to Robin who doesn't want to have kids. So actually I think that's as good a time as any to do Chris's life lessons from How I Met Your Mother. In this episode, we find out that Jessica and Robin lost touch when Jessica had a baby, and Lily and Robin have a falling out when Lily is getting into baby-making mode. And Jessica says that she thought about picking up the phone and calling Robin 100 times, but she never had the courage. In life, people drift apart for a number of reasons. It's important to not have a defeatist attitude because the friendship has changed. I recommend to make the call or send the text. They'll be happy you did. And this has been another Chris's Life Lessons from How I Met Your Mother.
All right, thanks, Chris. I was just thinking, if I had to pick a lesson from this episode, I love yours, so I don't want to take away from your sentiment, but I would say, remember, the reveal of Punchy's perspective on Ted's life, and compare that to how the episode made you feel about Ted's life at the beginning of the episode. Ted, had a pretty cool life, and Punchy was a loser, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the episode, you hear Punchy concerned about Ted, and Punchy be very happy with his life. So, every once in a while, if you're in a situation where you're upset or angry, or you think someone else is wrong, think about perspective, and it might help you make you feel better.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you shared that.
So, Chris, let's just close out the Robin Sparkles trilogy next week. What do you say?
We should do that. What episode is that?
It's going to be Season 9 episode. It's called P.S. I Love You. It is the very last Robin Sparkles, and in fact, Robin Sparkles is barely in it.
Right.
Robin Daggers.
That's right. Yeah, I can't believe I didn't remember that. P.S. I Love You. But
appearance.
Yeah, Robin Daggers.
Robin Daggers. So tune in for that next week, folks.
We'll do that.
All right, that's it. We're just going to cut.
Yeah, yes. Well, I was going to say that if we needed some sort of riff out, I did like the moment where Barney almost slapped Marshall because they thought it was porn.
Oh, yes. I can't believe I didn't mention that. Courtney King wrote Slap Bet, which began the whole Slap Bet series and the Robin Sparkles series.
Right.
And now we're here near the end, and they dovetail together again with, Space Teens.
Right.
I can't believe it's not porn.
Yeah, and I don't know. I guess Lily's the slap bet commissioner, and she can make the call and say that it's not, but it's close enough. I'm not sure Barney didn't deserve a slap there. Well, a slap for Marshall. If you haven't already, go ahead and queue up the commentary portion of the podcast. If your TV, computer, or other streaming device isn't ready to play, Pause the podcast now. Come back to us when you're ready.
Okay, everybody ready? Start the episode in 3, 2, 1, now.
Back to the kids. Easy
Yep.
Season 6. Steal that shot from the kids.
That burger looked good.
Robin wearing a hat for like the second time in the series.
Right. That might be a Canadian thing, based on the way people dress at the Hoser Hut.
Yeah.
Now, I have quite a few friends who have had kids. Thankfully, they never really did this to me. I mean, they do talk about their kids a lot, and I get that. But none of them was ever talking about cervical mucus while I was trying to eat a cheeseburger, because we would have had words.
Yeah. Here's Barney's motivation for anything in this episode. He wants he's got another thing. He wants to become a thing. The everyday boutonniere.
Yes, by Stinson. This is another episode where Barney mentions 83%.
Yep.
We also never get to see... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, at this point, we're all very comfortable at the bar here. It's season 6.
Yes.
Nothing remarkable going on with the table.
Right. Yeah, booty is near. True story.
I was going to say, that's true.
We never get to find out if this actually does anything for him in the episode. A lot of his things, like, we get to explore them. Or it was just a clever way to lead into Robin Sparkles.
What? Now, I watched they have the table read on the DVD, and there's a couple extra jokes that got cut out between the table read and what you see on screen, if you're interested in that sort of thing.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. I've actually watched a lot of the commentaries, and I don't think I've watched that one yet. See, because, he's still wearing the boutonniere.
Yeah. He
Just
doesn't mention it the rest of the episode. It never comes up in the series.
Nope.
Neither does Ted's sweater vest here.
This might be the only episode with that sweater vest, I'm not sure. It's a strange wardrobe choice for him.
Yeah, brave choice.
Oh,
now, I'm going to nerd out here and say that Space Teens, despite being filmed in the 90s, is clearly HD 16:9 video.
Ooh, good eye. That's one of those things that you pick up on. Did not catch that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't catch that. Or maybe they didn't care. Who knows?
Yeah.
There's Jessica Glitter. And then she does that same look again later in the episode.
Yes, she does.
I'm glad you caught that too.
It was so weird. Like, it seems so out of place at the organ.
Yeah, yeah, that's just what she does.
Yeah. Maybe it's just because this is the third time around, but I don't feel like Robin's 80s makeup was as convincing this time as it was the first time.
No, it's not. And they didn't use any camera tricks to make her look a little bit shorter. I mean,
There's the curling stone.
Oh, I didn't get that. I did get that it said kilometers, though, because they used the metric system. I don't know how many miles a million kilometers is, but I know that it's stupid.
It's completely meaningless. It's just nonsense words.
There's the robot. I do like that robot a lot. But yeah, Robin looks really tall here and thin like she does as an adult. Like when she's in like Robin Sparkles 1 or Let's Go to the Mall. I don't know, I felt like they did camera tricks to make her look like she was shorter.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's not normally the kind of thing that I notice.
Yeah. You can't do that on television. Wants to show on Nickelodeon Kids.
Mm-hmm. Is that the one with the
Dump
the
slime on you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Having them do like a Baywatch jumping around slow-mo thing.
Yeah. You can see Colby Smulders sort of dance in her chair in the table read video.
Now I really need to watch it.
Yeah, if you were interested in that. So this might be another scenario where future Ted is just messing up the details here and just remembering this video being dirtier than it really was.
Could be. Yeah.
But
yeah, I hadn't thought of that. But yeah, from the perspective of 2030 Ted.
But I love the reactions here, though.
Yeah. That's
mouth agape.
Yeah.
And then the hands on the back of the head.
Yep.
Did you notice that?
Yep. And him, just like the words that Alan Thicke was using there. There's nothing else that could be.
No, so dirty.
Yeah, the Christmas card that she mentions, in a moment here when they find it on the table, why is it just sitting out on the table? Is it around Christmas? When did you say this aired?
This was end of the year.
Oh, maybe that is fair that it would just be sitting on the table, but I thought that was kind of convenient.
Jessica Glitter could be really ahead of the curve on her Christmas letters, because this episode aired in November.
I mean, if she's that, ahead of the game with her life, despite having a kid, like she can't pick up the phone and call Robin and make a little time.
Yeah. But we just missed the glorious introduction of Punchies. Punchy! Yeah. Screaming contest.
That was them having like a meaningful conversation. And we do find out that Punchy did gather information from that conversation. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Not sure how, but he did. That's just how they communicate.
Yeah.
Now, he doesn't say Mosby Boys here or a bit of a detective, but he does do some detective work right there. And yep, there's the Christmas card.
Yeah.
There's Ted being douchey.
Ted does poetry for no reason.
Yep, yeah, it's just completely... Well, and it's not even... Well, I mean, I guess it is real poetry if he says it, because that's how poetry works, but it's not quoting anything like he does. It is totally unnecessary.
Yeah.
I guess he wanted to bring some high-mindedness to the group for a moment. Maybe it's the vest.
He's not going to stop. He's like, come on.
Yeah, feel the room.
He's like, he basically said, when Glitter got pregnant, she dumped Robin, or Robin dumped her. And he's like, that's going to happen to you, Lily.
Yeah. Yeah, he was trying to soften it with poetry.
Yeah.
Well, good thing he got rid of that vest.
Yeah.
Though, how cold do they keep that apartment? Well, I guess it's winter. 'Cause, I mean, he's wearing 3 shirts inside. I don't do that.
Yeah. I did like that adorable moment when Robin came in and both of them were patting the couch.
Yep, they're just waiting. They've been waiting there all day.
Yeah. The trying not to laugh acting here is phenomenal.
It is good. Yep, here's Alan Thicke.
Yep. Yeah, they built this spaceship for one episode.
Yeah, kind of like the Walleye Saloon. It's a lot of work. A long walk for a short episode.
You just can't take it.
Mm-hmm.
About.
Kobe's acting there.
Yeah.
It's very good. And they don't care that they didn't get to hear it. They had enough.
Yeah. We'll find it more. Here's Punchy. He shows up in his Browns jacket.
Yep, you beat me to it. Yep, those are Browns colors. She's such an asshole.
He's never met them before.
Nope. But although on the other side of the coin, he does invite them to his wedding, even though he barely knows them. Like he's like kind of a good guy. He's
been off the airplane for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Or bus.
He's not nice to people, but he's like a good guy.
Sometimes. I just met you. And then Robin here. Excellent mocking.
Yeah. I like this because this is why Ted thinks that Punchy should be depressed.
Yeah.
And gives all these reasons. I also like that as much as he defends Cleveland, one of the reasons was he lives in Cleveland.
Yeah.
And then we have a switcheroo at the end.
Yeah, they flip it at the end, yeah.
Robin being a little passive-aggressive there.
Yeah, I was going to say that was probably the snarkiest she gets in this episode.
Yeah.
And at least Punchy didn't bring a tall boy in his pants like Simon.
Yeah, he's a jerk, but he has a little bit of class.
Yeah.
No, I don't know that that's true with the baby bird trick. I don't know. You just punch Marshall. He needs to be careful.
Yeah. Another person I just met.
Yeah.
That might be the first time we hear future Ted's voice in this episode. Did he start at the beginning?
I've been talking to the kids, yeah. But other than that,
okay.
I don't remember.
I was going to say, that would have been bizarre. They just have future Ted show up in the middle of the episode.
Yeah, just have Bob Saget show up for one line.
Yeah.
Well, actually, really, he only showed up for like 3 lines for the whole episode. It's not that different. Maybe they write a season of scripts at a time and just have him come in for one afternoon.
Yeah, that guy's he got a good deal there.
Yeah. This is the first time that Lily and Robin break up.
Oh.
We'll see them do it again in the series finale. It didn't really have anything to do with kids, but Lily's very, very pregnant in that episode, dressed as the white whale, so there's like an interesting crossover there. It's like this first time they break up is when Lily's thinking about having a kid, and the next time they break up, she is very pregnant with one.
Yeah. We missed the destruction of the Joey Buttafuoco pants.
Yep.
I can't remember what episode those were in before, but Marshall really loved those.
It was in an episode where the group gets to make decisions about the rest of the group by vote. If that jogs your memory.
Is it Intervention?
I'm not sure.
So it's something else. Yeah. And of course here, Punchy's just the Times Square obsessed tunnel vision tourist.
Yep. Yeah,
and for some reason is peeing in a jar in the alley.
I do not understand what that was about.
Cleveland people write in, tell us why. Why do you pee in jars in the alley?
Yeah, it's like he's saving it for something, and I do not even want to know what he's saving it for.
Can't be anything you want to be involved with.
That's right. There's Barney doing a monologue of reality TV send-off quotes.
Yeah, and if you want to know what every single one of them are, they're on the wiki. I recognized about 5 or 6 of them.
I'd say I might have got half, maybe a third to half. But I also don't watch a huge amount of... I also like that Ted's not shocked by that.
Yeah.
That may not be the first time that that's happened.
Yes. I would love to ask Carter and Craig if that was something from their life.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, you said the slap bet was.
Yeah. Or maybe that was from Courtney Kang's life.
That would be a little more shocking, but possible.
Well, who's more likely to have strange men show them their testicles?
There's
I don't know.
Jessica's look there.
Yeah, it's the Jessica Glitter look.
And yeah, I have no idea who would be more likely to have strange man show them a baby bird.
Or good friends, you know.
Right, yeah. There's Marshall pretending that he's a detective.
Yeah. Looked on that Christmas card for the return address.
Yeah. She says Barney found her. He probably didn't have to look that hard.
Yeah. Maybe Jessica Glitter has a wiki page and Robin Sparkles doesn't.
Well, I think I don't know. I don't know if you get to decide if you don't want one, you can't ask Wikipedia to pull it down. Probably. I don't know. Never looked into that. Because she would have tried to have hidden that.
Yeah. Maybe it's only on the Canadian Wikipedia.
Is that a thing?
Maybe. It would be in if How I Met Your Mother was going for season 10.
Yeah.
Or 11.
Canadian Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lily doesn't come off very well in this episode. She just breaks up with Robin because she thinks that Robin's going to do it eventually, but she doesn't. She's not even pregnant yet. At least Glitter's saying that it happened after she had the baby.
And it was Glitter who pulled away,
right?
Ultimately, and
I got the impression she just didn't have time.
Yeah, and that's something that's happened. You know, I'm sure that's happened to everybody. Of course, it's happened in my life. You know, we have friends or family members who've had kids and just suddenly disappear from our lives.
Yep, and it feels like too much work to make it keep going.
Yeah,
and that doesn't always involve having a baby, but that's definitely pretty common.
Yeah.
Two things, more of our Cleveland fans can write in. Did he just mention a show that only exists in Cleveland, or maybe you know what the show was, James? Did he?
Something in the Bear? Yeah, I assume that's some sort of local programming in Cleveland.
And the other thing is the Cleveland-style pizza, which sounded laughable. I looked it up, and apparently some people think that that's a thing. Yeah, it's basically a pan pizza.
Okay.
That's it. It's pan pizza. Like a regular pan pizza.
Here's Punchy's fiancée.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that they cast this actress to play his wife, because they could have gone with just another Hollywood stick 100-pound actress, but they went with someone with a more realistic figure.
Yeah, I thought that was good too. You just really have like an actual human moment.
Yeah.
Well, and then it's gone.
Yeah. Now they're 12 years old again.
Yep. Remember that time that you dookied in your pants out by the lake?
It was unbelievable.
And we are back at the Hoser Hut.
Yep. Second appearance in the series.
There's a lot of Canadian references at the very end of this episode, and I don't know. Well, I'm not sure that I know all of them. We'll get there.
Yeah.
And Robin's not really... Well, I guess she's around for Marvin. She's not really around for the other kids, because by that time she's traveling the world.
Yeah.
Punchy.
The whole gang just showed up at the Hoser Hut.
Yeah. So
including Punchy.
Right, yeah. Which he gets his in a little bit, but
yeah.
But so now Ted has been to the Hoser Hut.
Yeah.
Although he still could be exaggerating or remembering it wrong by 2030.
Yeah.
Yeah, here comes... Yeah, Punchy gets his. Yeah.
It just keeps going.
He was not being very playful there. It didn't look like.
Yeah. Da, 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 da. Now, if you compare this shot to the last episode it was in, it looks like the Hozier hut is either smaller or just a little less crowded.
It's going to be a little more crowded here when they do their outro.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Ba, 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 da, da. Last time I'll mention the table read video, but they also show the dress rehearsal, and you can watch Colby and Jessica Glitter rub each other in a clearly inappropriate way.
Wow.
While rehearsing.
Wow, did not know that. Yeah, now
there's
3 reasons to watch it. So is that supposed to be like the Prime Minister? I think it's like the Queen.
Yeah,
Queen
the
Elizabeth.
Prime Minister actor looks an awful lot like the Prime Minister actor that was in Let's Go to the Mall.
Oh, okay. So, all right, good. It was supposed to be the Prime Minister, or probably, anyway.
Yeah. Hey guys, I can't thank you enough for putting up with us for another episode. I'm really enjoying taking such a deep look at this show. We hope you're enjoying it. We'd love to hear from you. Email us at himymsuperfans@gmail.com. That's it for today, folks. I've been James.
I've been Chris.
It's been a pleasure. From all of us here at Metro News 1, Barnacle out.
Music by Kevin MacLeod.